Mr. Mccrory, after you and your wife received shocking results in this courtroom surrounding your daughter's paternity, you returned home and realized you have good reason to doubt your son, Keith's paternity. And now your marriage is on the rocks.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mccrory, you claim your daughter's results surprised you, but you're confident your husband fathered your 3-year-old son, and you hope to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your court papers, it says you all broke up for a few days around Keith's conception. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
Yes.
And so during that breakup, Ms. Mccrory, did you sleep with anyone else? Were you intimate with anyone else?
Yes, I was.
Did you use protection?
No.
Had you ever told Mr. Mccrory about this?
No, I didn't. Because I see it as that, why would I have to tell him if we're not together?
So you felt like we're broken
It's
up.
my business.
But when you get pregnant...
The bed wasn't even like cold, like it was, we just broke up. Like, I mean, if me and her, you know, if something happens to her and she dies today, I'm not gonna have a new woman in the bed 3 days later because, you know, to death do us part, you know? The thing was, I couldn't get a hold of her. I called her, and for 2 days she ignored me. Finally, I get a hold of her, and there's a guy in the background, and she's claiming it's her brother, but the whole time we're together, he never comes over, and he lives 2 blocks away. And then when I say that to her, she's like, oh, well, my friends are here, I gotta go, you know, we're just chilling, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. So while you're taking that break or you're broken up, you admittedly slept with someone else.
Yes, I did.
Without protection.
Yes.
But during the pregnancy with Keith Jr., you never told him, even after the birth.
No, because I just 1,000% know that's his child right there. That's his kid. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. It's his child. You can tell. Look at.
And so you just felt like you didn't have to tell the whole truth because you were so certain Keith Jr. was.
And it's just, I feel that it's not, everyone's making it seem like it's cheating. I wasn't with him, it's not cheating.
No, we're past the cheating part. We're on the paternity part.
And Your Honor.
We're on the part where you find out you're pregnant and you slept with 2. No, we're not on the marital part.
Well, the fact is, it's his kid, 1,000% sure.
You're that certain.
Yes.
But you were also very certain when it came to Nevaeh. I remember this attitude. I don't forget. You acted just like this the last time you were in court about Nevaeh.
Yep, but it wasn't it.
And it was not.
No, it wasn't. People make mistakes. It's like.
They absolutely do.
They do.
And that's why we're asking you, in this instance, did you make any other mistakes? Were you in a position where you may not know who Keith's biological father is? I mean, Mr. Mccrory is truly doubting you.
He didn't doubt it the whole time we were together. The whole time the kid's been born, he hasn't doubted that kid at all until this last case with Nevaeh. And then you're gonna bring it up?
Your Honor.
Why didn't he bring it up a long time ago?
See, I didn't.
Because he didn't know you cheated, right?
Right.
He didn't know you, let me rephrase. He didn't know you slept with someone else when you were broken up. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you said the bed wasn't even cold yet.
Yes, Your Honor. And see, the thing is the potential father, she would promise him, say she'd send him pictures and stuff like that, but she said she promised me she wasn't sending him pictures.
What kind of pictures are these?
Your Honor, I have pictures that she puts on Facebook all the time that, you know, some of them are old, but some of them were recent. I mean.
Let me see those, Ron, even though I'm not sure I want to.
I mean, Your Honor, these are not pictures that a husband would want on her Facebook. I mean.
So these are photos that you're afraid she's also sending to men.
There's nothing wrong with that picture.
Yes, Your Honor.
No,
I mean, the first one was just like not too long ago.
And those pictures, I mean, I wasn't even with him.
The first
and that's
one
just pictures,
was like
those pictures have been on
less than
Facebook
6 months
for
ago.
years. And I don't do that stuff no more.
The first one was like probably like less than 6 or 7 months ago.
No, those pictures are not 6, 7 months ago. Those are
the one with the top that you just.
There's nothing wrong with that picture.
It's
no different if a girl puts a bikini on and takes a picture on Facebook. It's a sports bra.
So, listen, Mr. Mccrory, even though as a husband you may not want your wife posting these kind of photos, I don't think the photos alone are evidence that Keith Jr. may not be your biological child, but I do believe the fact that she admittedly slept with someone without protection, this guy, during the time you all were on this break, is reason to doubt.
Yes, Your Honor. This was supposed to be my friend and her friend. He comes over our house, he chills out, he would come to the house and drink with us and crash on the couch for the night.
And this is the person she slept with?
Yes, Your Honor. If she's lying to me and it's not my son, I'm not going to stay with her. I'm going to leave her. I mean, I'm not going to be with somebody who lied to me about my son.
So the stakes are that high?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 3 years, been together for 4.
Really? And so you all are raising these 2 children together. You have this beautiful son. You love him dearly.
Yes.
But now you have questions regarding his paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so now the marriage is on the rocks. You have absolutely no trust now.
Yes,
He's not really one to talk. Well, it's like, how would I know what he's doing for the 4 days? He could have been doing something.
I never.
He was chatting with girls.
Well, you know what, Ms. Mccrory, you're right. But if you haven't heard about any babies being born as a result
How do I know?
of it,
You know, you never know.
But I'm saying you wouldn't.
Not with him.
If you do, you're welcome to come back. But in this instance, we're talking about Keith Jr. I mean, that's why we're here. Because
we shouldn't even be here right now.
if you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
My name's on the birth certificate. I have that with me here today.
You brought the birth certificate?
I got a copy of it.
Let me see that. Ron, can you hand it to me?
I mean, and I was excited when Keith was born. I've always wanted a son that I can give my last name to, that can share that bond of a junior, and that can pass that on to his son.
The truth is, because she did have unprotected sex with somebody else, it's possible that this little boy is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's been eating away at you.
Yes, Your Honor. Going through all this, Your Honor, it made me kind of think about things like, I mean, there was a time and period.
I'm not sitting in here.
Miss Mccrory, give yourself a minute and then come back in. Let's finish this case. Mr. Mccrory, this is the reason why you asked the court for a lie detector test.
Yes,
because
Your
you
Honor.
don't have any trust.
I don't have any trust.
Come on back in. What's making you so emotional, ma'am?
Because it's his kid.
And what, you just feel like you're getting, you're beat down by the accusations, or what, you have so much on you because everything didn't turn out the way you thought with Nevaeh, then you come back home?
Yeah, because I feel bad that I don't know who her dad is.
And that case, you feel like affected the way your husband feels about your son.
Yes.
And that's upsetting you.
Yes, it does.
You know, I would think that way. I mean, like I said, like in the beginning it was positive, this one, but there's other options. And then towards the, at the time of court and after court, it was bouncing back and forth. You know, let's write this person, let's write that person. And then talking to, you know, the possible of Nevaeh, you know, the possible father, writing back and forth about your kid looks like my kid.
Of course I'm going to do that when I'm trying to find out who her dad is. She
You
has
know-
a right to know, just like he has a right to know, but she's going to look stupid because it's his kid.
But we're in court today talking about Keith Jr. And the truth is that there is at least one other possible father for Keith Jr.
Not to me, no. He is the father.
Well, we've heard this before, Miss Mccrory.
And it-
And it didn't turn out the way you said.
done
And
now.
that's what is making him so nervous.
The other thing that makes me nervous is that the other possibility is still on her Facebook today.
So it concerns you that she's still in contact
Yes.
with this person.
Well, I'm going to obviously be in contact with the person. I tried to tell him about it just in case it wasn't, but I know 1,000% sure he's the father and he's going to look stupid.
So, Mr. Mccrory, you asked Ms. Mccrory to submit to a lie detector test. We have administered that lie detector test, and I have the results for you. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ron, the envelope, please. These results were prepared by a licensed polygraph examiner. Before I read these results, Ms. Mccrory, what do you expect that we will find out?
The truth. On it all. I'm not lying about anything.
Okay. Ms. Mccrory, you were asked from 2013 until the present, have you slept with anyone other than one man you admitted to your husband? You admitted that you did.
Yeah, I did.
Who is that person?
To someone else. It was mistakes when I got together, so he shouldn't be over there shaking his head because he's no better.
All right. Ms. Mccrory, you were then asked if you sent racy pictures to anyone other than your husband in the last 4 years? You admitted that you did. Ms. Mccrory, you were asked if you had sexual intercourse with the other possible father of Keith Jr. other than the 2 times you previously admitted. You said no. The lie detector determined you were being deceptive.
What? What the heck is that?
Lying.
No, that's not. That don't make no sense.
So is there anything you'd like to add? Do you have anything you want to share? Do you want to share with your husband? Maybe something you haven't told him to let him know that you're trying to be truthful.
I am truthful. I've been truthful. Well, I mean, other than that lie, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's not. It's not really a lie, because it's like we weren't together. I mean, we got back together. Why should I have to tell him?
Maybe because the child he thinks is his child may not be?
No, I'm 1,000% sure it's his child. I'm not worried about it.
He literally has tears in his eyes in this moment, and he's worried. You act like you don't care.
I do
but
care.
He's worried.
I do care.
You have an interesting way of showing it.
I do care.
What are you feeling in this moment, Mr. Mccrory?
Like, hurt. I mean, just confused. I mean, I don't know, like, where the trust is here. You know, I've even had somebody come up to me in a grocery store and, you know, just laugh at me, say, "Oh, you're with Rose," and I say, "Yeah," and he's like, "I slept with her, you know, a few months back."
No, that's not true.
And you know, she
I never
says
slept with him.
She says that he's just saying that he wants to sleep with her, that she never touched him. He hung out before I was in the picture.
So after you hear these results, do they further compound the doubt you were feeling when you walked into this courtroom today?
Yes, Your Honor, they do.
Do you understand how this led you to this point in your marriage, Ms. Mccrory? Do you get it?
I get it. It's just I don't understand, like, why we're even here.
Wow.
Because
I want a son that I can actually see, that I could play baseball with. I mean, I still love my son, and I'm still there for him. But I want to raise my son, Keith. I want to give him my last name and have him give the junior on to his son to play ball with him, to, you know, toss the baseball, you know, play sports with.
And I can see from the tears in your eyes that the fear that that may not ever happen.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's bothering you. I can tell. I understand. Ms. Mccrory, do you understand his fear at all?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can understand his fear a little bit. I mean, because if I slept with somebody, possibility, okay, maybe it is, but it's just, I believe 1,000% it's his child. He looks just like him.
And the thing that she doesn't get is I should have been able to make that decision. I don't think it's, you don't think it's his, it's possible yours. I should have been able to hear that. We should have been able to get through that. It shouldn't have been, you know, hey, 2 weeks ago, there is a possibility. I did do this, you know.
I understand. Well, you know what? That's why I'm here, to bring clarity to a cloudy situation. Ron, I'm ready for the envelope.
Yes, ma'am.
These results are prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Mccrory versus Mccrory, when it comes to 3-year-old Keith Mccrory Jr., it has been determined by this court, Mr. Mccrory, you are the father.
Yeah, I told you so.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm happy for you. You have a beautiful little boy. You have Nevaeh. And you're married. For better, for worse, this may be your worst. I want to talk to you all in my chambers. I do. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meet me there. Court is adjourned. Ms. Chatman, you and the defendant have an older child together, but you've brought him to court to prove your 2-year-old son, Maurice Hayes Jr., is his.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim he was excited during your pregnancy, named your baby, but now denies him because he has a new girlfriend.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Hayes, you say you've always doubted paternity of Maurice Jr.
Yes.
And you're just trying to do the right thing by signing the birth certificate but you now say he's not yours and you want the plaintiff to change his name when the paternity test proves he's not your junior.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Chatman, tell us, why do you feel Mr. Hayes needs to just step up and be a father?
Because if he could take care of somebody else's child, why can't he take care of his own child?
And so you submit today that he's taking care of someone else's child.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
But not doing anything for the child he fathered with you.
Not Maurice
Explain.
Jr. He's not doing nothing for Maurice Jr. He barely does for Mariah. Like, for instance, on Christmas, he brought Mariah 5 presents. Then bring Maurice Jr. nothing.
For Christmas?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Is that true, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am, she's telling a lie, Your Honor. I bought actually 6 gifts. I gave him 1 and gave her 5, and I gave both of them. I held both of them and gave both of them hugs.
But you clearly have doubt around Maurice Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that doubt.
Only reason why I have that because when I was asking her was she pregnant, she was like, no. And I got a piece of letter in the mail saying that she was pregnant, but she also still was in denial. So when I say she was like 4 months and my mother asked her was she pregnant, she says, no, she's not. So I still was like, okay, how are you not pregnant? And I got a letter in the mail.
So why all this confusion?
I don't know, because she was talking to another guy and I guess she was scared to tell me about it.
Ms. Chatman, why all this back and forth? I'm pregnant, I'm not pregnant?
Because, yeah, true enough, I told him I wasn't pregnant because I just had Mariah 4 months. She was only 4 months, and I was pregnant again, so I didn't know. I didn't know if I wanted to keep him, to be honest, or what. So we talked about it, and we got back together.
So he came back?
Yes.
After he found out you were pregnant?
Yes.
Did it seem as if he accepted the pregnancy?
He went to every doctor appointment that I'd had since we got back together.
I had no symptoms. I had none of this.
Yeah. In your mind, your baby's on the way.
Yes, Your Honor.
You at the hospital, the baby's born.
Yes, Your Honor.
You decide, I'm signing the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
You didn't think at that moment you needed a DNA test? You didn't have a doubt?
She told me that was my baby, and I took responsibility and moved back in. That's when I started having doubts when he came home. But when I was holding him, I was telling her that I'm not the father. I never had symptoms. You know, I never felt any type of way.
What symptoms were you supposed to have?
Like, you know, cravings. I gained weight.
When your girlfriend's pregnant the first time, when she's pregnant the first time, you gain weight, but this time you didn't have the same symptoms. You didn't eat, you didn't have any craving, and you believe it was because it wasn't your child.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a first, Jerome.
Okay, I have something.
Definitely
for you,
the first time I've ever heard that.
I have something for you.
Yes, I'd like to see that evidence. Jerome, will you hand it to me, please? What is this, ma'am?
In the state of Tennessee, once you sign the birth certificate,
and that's what she was using against me.
They tell you that once you sign the birth certificate, it voids off DNA paternity testing.
So this is a pamphlet.
Yes, ma'am.
It says, for your child's sake, establish paternity.
Yes.
And it's basically an entire pamphlet with passages highlighted that talk about the issues you need to consider as it relates to paternity, signing a birth certificate, and if you have doubt, how you should not sign the birth certificate. It says parents should think carefully before acknowledging paternity. If either of you do change your mind, you have 60 days to rescind the acknowledgement in writing. If either parent has any doubts about who the father is, no forms should be signed.
I was just trying to be a good guy, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
You're acknowledging you saw this pamphlet.
Yes, ma'am. She explained all that to me. I was just trying to be a good guy
2
to her.
weeks. He said he waited till the baby was 2 weeks, said the baby not his. That paper say 60 days. Why did he not write them?
Very good question, Ms. Chatman. Mr. Hayes, why didn't you rescind your acknowledgement? If you felt in 2 weeks the baby really didn't look like you and you don't remember having the symptoms.
Because when I went to court, when I went to juvenile court, they said that I had to get a DNA. I had to pay for a DNA, and I didn't have no job at the time.
What is this about? I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
Yes, when he clearly
because it doesn't matter if you a nice guy in the hospital, but then you a no-show guy after you leave. What's the point?
You right, Your Honor. He don't let me at all.
I have something for you.
What else do you have, Miss Chapman?
He say this not his son.
What is this, ma'am?
It's a Facebook post that he posted off his page about his son.
That was my first little boy I had about her. That's the one that
That's
died.
December the 11th, 2012.
That's the baby that died.
That's 2012. God bless me with my son yesterday. If he died that day, why he say God bless me with my son yesterday?
This post says, God bless me with my son yesterday. Did you write this?
I don't remember writing nothing like that.
I have something else for you, ma'am.
Yes.
Here you go.
What else do you have, Miss Chapman?
It's a picture of Maurice Jr. He claimed that he didn't have that Facebook. Oh, yes, he did, because there goes his name tagged in it right there.
He's here.
Yes, Maurice.
And
Jr.
you tagged
Maurice
Hayes here.
Yes.
On the picture. And what you're saying is, this is the same Facebook name that's used on the previous text. Maurice Player Reese Hayes.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Player Reese.
Your Honor, the only reason why I just really had doubt is because when she asked me over to her dad's house, after she left, I seen another guy coming out the house. So when I walked into the door, I explained to her, I asked her, I said, who is that guy? She said, that's my dad's friend. I said, your dad don't hang around young dudes. So she said, oh, he just working, they just work together, it ain't nothing. But the whole time, it was the same guy that's constantly calling my phone and telling me, hey, your baby mama this and that, your baby mama this and that. And I said, hey, how you get my number?
What's this and that?
He was saying that he the daddy and
Okay.
I'm trying to go see my son and she won't let me. And you know, I had met him one time at the barbershop. And then when we started talking, then he was showing me Facebook messages where Keisha had inboxed him saying, come get your child.
Why you didn't bring it?
I ain't gotta bring nothing. You already know what's going on.
But Miss Chapman, did you tell another man through Facebook to come and get his child?
I never told another man to come and get his child. And the day that he's talking about, he came over there and saw that guy in my house. He brought her with him over there.
So, Miss Chapman, whether or not he was your boyfriend at that point, was there any other possible father, is what I'm trying to understand.
I was talking to the guy who he was talking about, but he could not run the time that the doctor said I conceived, no.
So you were intimate with someone else?
Yes.
But you're saying that wasn't during the window of conception?
No, ma'am.
So you do understand why he could have a doubt, but you're saying his dates are off?
I understand.
She used my mama's phone to talk to other guys.
I sure did. Why?
I never
yes.
said nothing about that. I ain't know what's going on with it. I just left it alone. And, you know, now that the baby's here, now she's trying to wonder why, you know, I'm not stepping to the plate because, you know, you don't have so many guys in the picture. I don't know what to do.
What about Mariah? You barely come and do something for her.
You said I can't go get, if I can't go get one, don't do for the other. So I just left them both alone. I bring shoes and clothes over there every time I got paid. This the witness right here. Every time I get paid, I bring shoes and clothes. You said,
this how she got all the shoes.
What shoes?
Hold on,
let's get this clear. Let's get this clear. What shoes?
Pumas, you mean we bought her Jordans?
Yeah, Pumas and Jordans.
Air Force
White Air Force Ones, black
White Air Force One, but I never saw no white Air Force One or black Air Force One. And the one that I did see, I bought them out my pocket.
All right, it's nothing that gets on my last nerve more than people talking about what designer shoe a baby has and they don't even have a daddy. I don't care about the shoe. It's about finding out whether or not you are Maurice Jr.'s father. Now, you brought up, I want to hear from her. I want to hear from her. Ma'am, please stand up to the podium. Your name, ma'am?
Jennifer.
Jennifer Webb. Miss Webb, and you are now Mr. Hayes's
baby mother.
You're his child's mother. And you all are in a relationship now. What do you know about the paternity of Maurice Jr.?
One day when I had Maurice's phone, I guess the guy she was messing with supposed to be the baby daddy or whoever, he texted the phone and said, can you tell your baby mama, can I see my baby? It was a long paragraph. It was telling him about, he was messing with Keisha then. Keisha wasn't going to her dad's house. She was going to the club, leaving the club, going over his house. That's what he texted to the phone.
Oh, he was texting Mr. Hayes directly.
This is my first time hearing about it.
Saying, I would like to see my child. And he was talking about Maurice Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
This is my first time hearing about that.
And so, when you saw this text, did you confront Miss Chatman?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And,
What did you say?
I called. I said, why? I said, how did that guy get my number? She said, I don't know. So I don't know what him and Keisha had going, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it because.
So when's the last time he's seen your children?
She won't let him because of the baby.
Thank you. If you can't get one, you can't get neither one of them.
So, Miss Chatman, you've created a condition that he cannot see Mariah, the older child, unless he also takes Maurice Jr.
Yes, because he will come and give Mariah things, take her, but leave him with broken
He had doubts,
promise.
Keisha.
It don't matter why he promising you, I'm gonna come back and get him, I'm gonna come back and get you, Daddy love you, I'm gonna come back and get you.
He wanted Raya, he did.
Well, why he lying for though?
Mr. Hayes, you admit that you've made the effort to see your daughter because you are sure she's your biological child.
Because we had to see.
But you leave Maurice Jr. behind.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you are doubtful about his paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you also have made the mistake of telling Maurice Jr. you were going to come back for him and never show up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because that's how you get Mariah.
Yes, Your Honor.
What evidence do you have there that you'd like to show
Saying
the
that
court?
I can't get
Jerome, may I see that, please?
Saying if I can't get one.
This is a copy of a text log that says, not her today, I'm come get her tomorrow. I got something to do today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You write back, Ms. Chatman, her or them?
Yes.
And then you write back, no, you write back her.
Yes.
Yes,
And then you write back, you might as well forget it about it, bye.
Yes.
Because you serious.
Yes.
If he's not coming to get both children, then he can't see either one.
Yes.
Is it fair, though? I mean, think about it. You signed the birth certificate.
You're right, Your Honor.
The child has your name.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the harm in just picking him up?
He forced the name.
I mean, it's too many dudes in the picture. I'm not finna take her no child that ain't mine, Your Honor. I'm just being real. I work too hard for my little money.
Listen, all this about, I just wanted to be a good guy. What happened to that person that just wanted to be a good guy?
I stepped out of her life, Your Honor, for a simple fact, because she left one night and said, Maurice, can I go to the club? I said, yeah, you can go. Left me there with Junior and Raya. Woke up next morning, she wasn't there. Hopped in the car, go look for her. She over another guy's house.
You didn't watch.
When I came to the door, knocked on the door, Keith in there, some dude come to the door.
No, the first was the right dude.
Hey, you don't need to be here, man. This ain't that. You know, so I said, man, I don't want no confusion. She on the couch drunk.
Listen, we can tell that the relationship didn't have an ounce of commitment in it. I'm just trying to understand his doubt. What other information and evidence do we have that relates to the paternity issue? Do you have something, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it? Jerome, will you pass this to me?
It's a Facebook post he made. It's his name right there, Maurice Hayes. The time y'all was broke up, when you put that picture.
So this one says, Daddy time with the kids. Gotta love them.
Mm-hmm.
That was in my house. That's what I'm telling you.
You wasn't there.
This what's up. That's good. You damn right.
All right, ladies, watch your language in the courtroom. I've heard enough. I'm ready for the results. Jerome, please hand me the envelope. And please stand between our plaintiff and defendant for these results. I don't want anybody getting out of hand. Let's stay composed. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Chatman versus Hayes, as it pertains to 2-year-old Maurice Hayes Jr., it has been determined by this court, Mr. Hayes, you are not the father.
That's fine. He can have his name back. That's
but
fine.
you took it through all that.
Yeah, I took out through all that, but did I not tell you I was with somebody else, though?
No.
Did I not say that?
Oh,
not with nobody else, but at the time.
Before we start getting silly to save face, the point is, it's not his child.
Okay.
He ain't been through all this. Man got tears in his eyes.
You don't know,
Mr. Hayes, you're very emotional. What are you feeling?
She kept us seeing my daughter for so long.
You right.
And just put me through so much. I ain't seen my daughter in 2 or 3 months. And it's like, it's really getting to me because that's my baby, and I'll do anything for her, but she said if I can't get one, I can't get the other one, but here it is today, I'm not the father.
Get your mom.
You all gonna have to figure out how to work through this now. You have a child together, Mariah. Is this other gentleman the only other possible father? So he is Maurice Jr.'s biological father. What I'm trying to get to is that this is madness.
Yes.
And let me be clear, now that we've determined in this court that you are not, in fact, Maurice Jr.'s biological father, that's not gonna automatically cut you off from responsibility for that child support because you signed the birth certificate. So what I'm saying is, this doesn't end today. The truth has come out today, but this isn't the end, this is the beginning. Ms. Smith, you say you've been waiting your entire life for the truth and opened your case to prove that Mr. Lewis is your biological father. You claim you are tired of his back and forth as it pertains to paternity and hope today's results will prove what you already know. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, you claim that years of doubt have caused you to question paternity, and unfortunately, you don't believe that Brittaney is your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Smith, why is today so important?
Today is important to me so I can get closure because it's always going back and forth on why he's not my father. He didn't sign my birth certificate. When he wants something, I'm his daughter. When he don't get what he wants, I'm not his daughter. He just been a big absence in my life.
And I read in the court papers that it hurts you that no one's on your birth certificate. That
Yes.
really bothers you.
Yes.
Tell the court.
It hurt me so bad because I don't want to have a family of my own because he's been denying me my whole life.
Mr. Lewis, when you hear Ms. Smith speak like this, what's your response?
Your Honor, first of all, her mom, me and her, we got to dating. Wasn't no relationship going on. It was just a hit and quit thing. It was just a hit and quit thing, that's all it was.
But there's a whole bunch of people here in this world from a hit it and quit, because you can make a baby right quick.
Right quick, that's true.
So, what does that explain?
I agree with you 100%. She's not my daughter. She's not mine. Nothing like me, nothing like me. She's not my daughter, period. She's not mine.
And so, I want to understand this. You had a relationship with her mother, and you admit that. At what point did you find out she was pregnant?
Well, I had moved out of town. A friend of mine I had ran into told me that Liz was pregnant. Okay, when I came back to Cleveland, Ohio, moved back to Cleveland, Ohio, I ran into another friend of mine. He said that Liz had a daughter, baby girl, and it's supposed to be your daughter. So.
What happened?
So, I got a baby. I'm a real man. I go and see my ex-wife right there. Me and her, we was together. We went up there to see what was going on. When we went up there, I remember good as day, when we went up there, it was a conflict going on between Liz and her mother, okay? So, at that time, Brittaney she was about 3 days old, 3 or 4 days old.
Okay.
So, I asked Liz, let's talk, you know what I'm saying, what's going on? They ain't had nowhere to go. I took Brittaney to my home.
Did you think at that time, this is my daughter, so I'm taking her?
No, I did not want Brittaney to be in the system because her mother deals with the system.
That's commendable. It really is. So, Brittaney, I want to understand from you, growing up, were you told your whole life that Mr. Lewis was your biological father?
Yes.
Tell me, what were you told?
My mother always told me that he was my father. She had no denial of him not being a father. She hasn't messed with nobody else. And I just feel like...
She was the neighborhood bro.
Hold on.
Excuse me.
Let's be respectful.
Excuse me.
And I just don't understand for him to sit here today or stand here today and take a child that you don't think that's yours. Why would you even do that?
So how long was this? How long did you have Brittaney, Mr. Lewis? How long was she in your custody?
I had Brittaney, like I say, she was 4 days old until Brittaney got about 10, 11, off and on, because her mother would come get her.
So wait a minute. You're saying you took care of Brittaney for 10 years of her life, on and off?
On and off, ma'am, yes.
As her father?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you call him daddy?
Yes.
So what kind of memories do you have with Mr. Lewis? What do you remember?
Him trying to be a fake father to me my whole life.
A fake father?
Why do you say a fake father? Explain. I see the
Because one
pain.
minute he was there, and the next minute he wasn't, like he was a ghost. I just don't understand how you can take somebody and treat them like they're your daughter sometimes, and then the rest of the time they're not.
Because your mother should have
And
came
he
forward
always
and said
stood,
something.
he always
That's why.
stood me up. He made me wait 25 years to get a test. I've been trying to pay for a test. He wouldn't do it.
Wow.
So, Mr. Lewis, this is interesting to me, because if in fact you truly believe you are not Miss Smith's biological father, and she's asking you over and over again to get a test, if you're that sure, why not take the test so you can get the clarity?
Your
He
Honor,
says you were avoiding the test.
Your Honor, I never avoided no test. I never avoided no test. If that was the case, I would have took the test. You know who her father is? Could you get this to her, please?
Jerome, let me see Mr. Lewis's evidence, please.
And Your
Thank
Honor, you
you.
tell me.
Sorry.
You look at her and you tell me.
This is a photo of a man.
Yes. That's the man that's the man. Yeah, tell me about it, Your Honor. Yeah, tell me
You
about it.
believe this is her biological father?
That is her father. You know why I say that? Because that's for the simple fact, because I caught him and her mom having sex.
First of all, how do you know this man?
That is my great-great-uncle. I pulled up in the yard, family house. The door was cracked, it was open. I walk in. The bed is sitting right there, right in front of the door. It's a small apartment. Smacking. They getting it. Next thing I know, he hear the door open. He turn around and look and see me. She raised her head up. All I did was look and shook my head and walked out.
Wait, so Mr. Lewis, you're saying you walked in and she was in bed with your uncle?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe Miss Smith's father is your uncle?
Tell me, what they look like? That's
Miss Smith, have you ever heard this before?
No.
She should know. She should know.
I just feel like he should just man up and really just take full responsibility of his actions, because I didn't ask to be here.
And you know what, Your Honor? If that's the case, if she's my daughter, yes, I will stand up. I want her in my life.
You
If
can't
she's
deny
mine.
nobody if you don't have facts first.
But that's her dad right there. That's her dad right
So, Mr. Lewis, do you agree with Miss Smith's testimony that you were inconsistent raising her? She said sometimes you were there, sometimes you were ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Why is that? Was
Yeah.
it because of the doubt?
It was because of the doubt, and plus I was in and out of town. I stayed in Cleveland. I got family in Georgia. Moved down here to Georgia, you know. So yes, I was gone. Yes, I was. I was gone. But she was getting things from her mother. Her mother was pumping her head up with things, you know, pumping her head up with things instead of telling the real deal that she wasn't nothing but a street hood. You know, I mean, that was it. That's her father right there, though.
Well, I mean, I need you to stop putting her mother down because you slept with her.
Well, yeah.
And-
yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So therefore...
Yes, I did.
Okay, so let's get that straight.
Okay,
And
but-
so let's not downgrade a woman in the courtroom unnecessarily, because at the end of the day, Miss Smith, your mother maintained without a doubt that Mr. Lewis was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
She never told you any different?
No.
You were consistently over at his home with his ex-wife? You were there?
Yes.
So tell Mr. Lewis, what do you want today? Tell him.
If he is my father.
Turn to him and tell him.
If you are my father, I want you to sign my birth certificate. And I don't want nothing else besides that.
We'll soon find out.
So, Ms. Smith, you've brought 2 witnesses. I'd like to hear from them. Ms. Moore, will you please stand and step over to the podium? And Ms. Lewis, please step up to the podium. Ms. Moore, I'd like to ask you, what do you know about this case?
He had brought me his daughter. He told me he had a daughter. And I seen Brittaney for the first time, and I said, wow, she looked just like you.
And just to be clear, you are Mr. Lewis's ex-wife.
Yes, I am. And I start, consuming that what he said, this was his daughter, so I took care of her for a long time.
Did he tell you when he brought you the baby, this is my daughter or this might be my daughter?
He said it was his daughter.
All right.
Oh.
You never looked at her and said, well, no, she doesn't look like you to me. She's not yours. You didn't doubt it?
Several
No, I did not. I doubted several times, but I didn't really doubt it because she looked like him.
Ms. Lewis?
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. What's your relationship to Ms. Smith?
She is my sister. And the reason why I say that is because, my dad, he good at that. As in, he got a paternity test.
For the record, I just want to be clear. You are Mr. Lewis's daughter.
Oh, that's my baby. Yeah.
And Ms. Moore is your mother.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so you say Brittaney, Ms. Smith, is your sister.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you said that clearly.
Yes.
Please explain to the court.
Where at?
Because first of all, Your Honor, he is good at doing that. As in, he had got a paternity test with me, and it's so hard. It's so hard to explain because,
See, you can't even say it.
Because it's just so sad. Cause she, like I said, because I really grew up with Brittaney, and it's sad because
I could hear the pain in your voice.
Yes, cause.
Why are you so hurt? Tell the court. Because I can see it.
Because I love Brittaney to death, and I just want her to stop feeling like she alone, and she not alone. He put us through the same thing that you going through. He put us through the same thing, and it's sad because he's saying he's so much a real man, but how you such a real man? But look at you doing to your own kids. It hurts. So it hurt a lot. It really do.
Still be my daughter.
And I hope Brittaney understand that no matter what,
she's still
she's
be
gonna
my
always
daughter.
be my sister, no matter what, Brittaney. I promise you. No matter
She'll
what.
always, no
I love
matter
you.
what, she'll always be my daughter.
I love you.
And I accept her that way.
Yeah, she's been around since she was 2-3 years old. 2-3 days, I'm pretty sure.
Brittaney, how does it feel in this moment to stand between 2 beautiful women, say, regardless, you're still going to be their family, and yet I can see from your reaction that you feel isolated and alone?
I just feel so numb to the point where my whole body just feel like it's flatline.
You've been waiting for 25 years.
Yes.
You've had this doubt. You can't remember a time when you didn't have this doubt.
No.
And you've had to live with it.
Yes.
No child and no adult should have to live with the pain of this kind of doubt. That's what paternity secrets and paternity issues do. And that's why we're here to get down to the bottom of it. I have the results for you. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Smith versus Lewis, when it comes to 25-year-old Brittaney Smith, it has been determined by this court Mr. Lewis, you are not the father.
Bam!
God.
Ta-da! That's our father right there. That's him right there.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You truly thought this was your biological father.
And you know what, Your Honor, and it's so bad because Brittaney, she used to call and disrespect me, and now she can't get mad at me no more. Who can she get mad at now? Her mother.
Listen, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Lewis.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You doing too much. Because you know what? You had a part to play in this. So you're not gonna walk out of here with your cape on like you was the hero. Because the real truth is, you had a part in this. And now that it has played out in the way that you testified, the truth is what you said has been proven in this court. You are not her biological father, but this is not the time.
I understand.
This is not the time.
I understand.
All right?
I understand.
For you to bring up the past, because we want to support and empower Brittaney in this present moment.
Yes.
Understandable.